Family Leonardo, me Nasiladi on Multimedia, the CEO Voice of Salon. Today I come for talk to now, my family, make una continue to subscribe to our YouTube channel and share to our friends them. As we always try to bring on the latest news what they happen around Salon, whether it be politics or any other news them, what they happen or gossip, what they bring out to una live and direct. So please, my family, don't forget to subscribe and share to our friends them. You wanna touch the bell icon so that you no miss any video we will try for bring out to una. So that's also we want make una don't forget also for subscribe to we TikTok channel on TikTok and also on Facebook or Facebook page or the Voice of Salon or also the on Instagram Voice of Salon, please family. And don't forget to share. Okay, thank you now. Tata.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, fellow Sierra Leoneans, comrades all, both home and the diaspora. This is the golden voice of the APC Encyclopedia, the Britannica, the socio-political analyst, the voice of the voiceless, the whistleblower, the lion of the social media, the regional publicity secretary, Southern Region, under the ticket of the mighty, indomitable All People's Congress Party. Fellow Sierra Leoneans, fellow listeners all over the globe, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, when I know say the encyclopedia media always embark on civic education for continue for educate, inform, sensitize, conscientize, and raise awareness to the people in Mama Salon on daily happenings and on burning issues that Mama Salon. So when I stay tuned, when I stay fixed, when I stay blessed, when I stay connected to the encyclopedia media, for when listening pleasure is absolutely guaranteed. With civic education today, Thursday, 29 May 2025, titled The Difference Between an Ordinary Thief and a Political Thief. So now stay tuned to the encyclopedia media for the latest. Ordinary thief they steal from a person, and a political thief they steal from we all. Ordinary thief, then call her a regular thief. A political thief, then call her a kleptomaniac. A political thief, they steal, ladies and gentlemen, fellow Caledonians, for the survival. Wherein a political thief, they run a whole government called kleptocracy, a government of the thieves. An ordinary thief, they thief you money, they thief you bag, they thief you watch, they thief you gold chain, etc., etc. While the political thief, they thief your future, they thief your career, they thief your education, they thief your health, they thief your business. The hilarious part of it now waiting. The ordinary thief, ladies and gentlemen, would I in the choose for rob? Would I the one for rob? Ladies and gentlemen. But now we self they choose the political thief for robbery. Ladies and gentlemen. The police and they chase the ordinary thief. But fellow Sierra Leoneans, ladies and gentlemen, the police, the military, the soldiers, and all state security apparatus, then they look after and protect the political thief. This is not the travesty and the irony of we current society today. We be blinded, fellow Sierra Leoneans, where we they say we're not blind because we vote for them political thieves they are in position of responsibility because of tribe, region, and political loyalty. Today, them tribalistic bunch of crooks they are, them murderers they, them kleptomaniac they are, don't empty all we state coffers and plunder with mineral resources, fellow Sierra Leoneans, ladies and gentlemen, comrades all, for their greed, their selfishness, their gluttony, their passional aggrandizement and self-egoism. They misuse the police and the military for brutalizing your citizen, for shoot and kill their own citizen in cold blood, for torture their own citizen, for jail their own citizen arbitrarily, for displace their own people and send their own people into forceful exile at the end of the month. Waiting, then they receive salary from them same people are when they kill when are the taxpayers' money, whether they kill extrajudicially because of the desperation of the political thieves. A political thief no get no integrity, no get humility, they no get sympathy, they no get empathy, they no get compassion for the mission, not for steal, not for kill, and for destroy. The political thieves then they steal the people they vote and use the police, the military, for massacre anyone we stand by them way, for hold them accountable, fellow Sierra Leoneans, and then get the backing of the judiciary at the end of the day, na both case. These are the dangers of the political thieves. The political thief, they loot all human rights then and use the money for buy the state independent democratic institutions then. See today upon all the killings, the bad governance, plundering of state resources, involved in double dipping, money laundering, human trafficking, drug trafficking, destabilizing the economy, manipulating we had and democracy. The Electoral Commission for Sierra Leone, the Political Parties Regulation Commission, the Office of National Security, the military, the police, the Human Rights Commission, the Inter-Religious Council, the Council of Paramount Chief, the Pauper Evil Society Organization, the journalists, they still praising the political thieves, fellow Sierra Leoneans. We don't destroy the country. They're murderous and atrocious political thieves they are. Nobody know the dear standing way, fellow Sierra Leoneans, for tell them the truth for the suffering masses, but now for protect the political thieves. The political thieves then vote them into office and they take advantage of their position entrusted to them by the people and collapse the economy of the state. Fellow Sierra Leoneans, this now a story about the political thief. One day, a political thief visits a village and called the villagers to a meeting. After the villagers they don't come, he asked the villagers then about waiting and they in dire need of. The villagers then tell the political thief, say, then get a health center with no doctor. The political thief criminally take out his cell phone, ladies and gentlemen, making a deceptive call for deceive the villagers. After murmuring hypocritically, he tell the villagers then say, tomorrow when I go get a doctor for take care of the health center. He asked the villagers again for the second time of what they want. The villagers then tell the politician, say, the political thief say, we are sorry, sir, we not get any mobile coverage now. Yeah. So the villagers then undressed the political thief with their common sense. The political thief became shocked and totally flabbergasted by his lies. Where the people that don't expose them, fellow Sierra Leoneans, the people that not see lie, oh, but at the end of the day, they just tell her no more. That call we call now fake because the people that not get network or mobile coverage in the village. So anybody with a thief, with a lie, with a deceive, with a betray, with a manipulate, with a undermine, with a kill, with a destroy, with a fraud, and circumvent the will of the people, fellow Sierra Leoneans. Now the dangerous political thieves then. The problem of a country today, we not get political leaders, but we get celebrated political thieves. This is not the reason why. The only way for succeed in the thieving, now for use what we call divide and rule, so that they will benefit from the loot said Pharaoh Sierra Leone, the loot the way they loot and the remnants, then go share to their own political bootlickers then against the majority. At the end of the day, then political bootlickers then go stand by them. The stupid part of the whole issue. Now, fellow Sierra Leoneans, now we do insult and fight we serve. We the insult and fight, beat, wound, broke teeth of the ordinary thief. Ladies and gentlemen, but we the fight we serve, we the fight another for the political thieves, fellow Sierra Leoneans. Ladies and gentlemen, comrades all. A criminal thief now somebody where they engage in the act of stealing or theft. When a crime, theft in general, then define her as the dishonest appropriation of property will belong to another person with the intention for permanently deprive that person from your property. This include various forms of stealing them, such as shoplifting, pocket picking, stealing others' property, or an employee with his thief from the working place. In this democratic perspective, the people there of Sierra Leone, now they're not the employers there. Now they employ them political thieves there, fellow Sierra Leoneans. We occupy various offices there as employees. When they loot, then they squander, then they expropriate, then they embezzle and plunder the state by fraudulently undermining and eroding the employer's trust when are the people, when are the electorate, because the people they employ them for take care of all the resources at the state on behalf of the citizenry, then can turn out to their own. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Sierra Leoneans. So then people they are, we call them the criminal thieves. Ladies and gentlemen. And now the criminal thieves then, now they will they address as Mr. Minister, Mr. Honorable, and His Excellency. Waiting honorable about them people they are. Waiting excellent about them political thieves there. Because they hide under the criminal umbrella of politics and democracy for doing looting. So theft in legal term typically require dishonesty, appropriation of property, and the intention for permanently deprive the owner of the property. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Sierra Leonean comrades all, then how you call a rogue politician where they dishonestly appropriates donor fund, international debt, taxpayers' money, and we state minerals then for their own selfish interests and permanently deprive the people of Sierra Leone from affordable drinking water, electricity, infrastructural development, low-cost housing, medical facility, quality education, and basic amenities where the people then desperately need. Ladies and gentlemen, them people are now criminal political thieves. The people, their fellow Sierra Leonean comrades all, we own the state according to democracy as the government of the people by the people. Then they go to bed hungry. While the political thieves then they fraudulently deprive the people there for enjoy then God-given state resources. The element of theft, dishonesty na a key element, meaning the thief not believe for say he gets illegal rights of property or that the owner will consent we take that property day. So the way a criminal thief is dishonest, now the same way a political criminal thief is dishonest. The similarity between the criminal thief and the political thief now dishonesty. Stealing elections now nothing but dishonesty, and dishonesty now the mother of theft. So how you go call electoral theft? Now dishonesty to the highest degree because you thief the people then vote, you thief the people then destiny, you thief the people then future, you thief the people then progress, and you thief the country in future. So the criminal political thief, they use dishonesty for towards the will of the people and impose himself on the people, ladies and gentlemen, and ride the state citizens on a stolen mandate. Fellow Sierra Leonean, so stealing are the most dangerous and disastrous thing in the world because he dey use criminal means for steal the power from the people and for brutally rule them on a stolen mandate. Thefts they result in various penalties, which include fines and imprisonment. Ladies and gentlemen, these are the consequences of theft when a thief. Ladies and gentlemen, somebody with a pickpocket, wey pickpocket the whole and beat and damage and broke in teeth, get and go to police station, charge and a court, then go sentence her for 10 or 15 years imprisonment. But while the criminal political thief, wey thief, then they ask am for pay fine, and they civilize am, then they civilize that theft day of the political thief as misappropriation of public funds, embezzlement, money unaccounted for, or flouting procurement or parliamentary procedures. So the current power per clerk of parliament, when Honorable Omaro Parantarawali involved in a theft and a dishonest behavior, he employed in wealth in absentia the United States of America for over 2 years. In wealth in America, I know they work. He received salary from the Sierra Leone Consolidated Fund. Ladies and gentlemen, with the OLA anti-corruption OLA, which they say, therefore pay back the money, fellow Sierra Leoneans, and ask for return the looted monies. After I don't return the looted monies, then get for reinstate again as a clerk of parliament for continue for loot more and plunder with state resources. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Sierra Leonean comrades all. But when they hold a teacher of exam malpractice, they handcuff am, take placard, place am on am, carry am go na cotton tree, expose am, disgrace am, na the freedom cotton tree. This na a criminal behavior. This na a racketeering enterprise. This na dishonesty to the highest degree and selective justice to the highest degree. This na the way how the criminal political thieves then they behave. Fellow Sierra Leoneans, ladies and gentlemen, comrades all, then they above the law because they get political connection. And the common man and woman, the common citizen, then they treat them unequally and inequitably. What are the difference between a thief and a robber? The difference between a thief and a robber is that thief merely now for thief somebody in property, whereas robbery now for use force or fear for take property from somebody in immediate possession. So thief na a less serious property crime, while robbery na a more serious, ladies and gentlemen, violent crime. So when you steal the people and vote brutally with force and fear in daylight, now an act of robbery, ladies and gentlemen. So we are more dangerous than an armed robber. Now the political thief, then they take your house, seize your land, seize your property forcefully, then call her unexplained wealth or forfeiture of property in a criminal way of fighting corruption. Waiting a theft in criminology. Thief in law na a general term where they cover a variety of specific types of stealing, wey include the crimes of larceny, robbery, and burglary. Thief then define am as the physical removal of an object wey capable of being stolen without the consent of the one wey get am, with the intention for deprive the person permanently of im own property. Ladies and gentlemen, so we get the common thief and we get the political robber. Fellow Sierra Leoneans, ladies and gentlemen, comrades all, both home and the diaspora. Who na a robber? A robber na somebody with a thief money or property from a bank, a shop, or a vehicle, often by using force or threat. Now they don't empty the state bank. Now whether they do so, now the political thieves, the political robbers. Ladies and gentlemen, we state vehicles they all, we state properties they all, they don't loot and carry and go abroad. Now whether they do this, now the political robbers, ladies and gentlemen, they don't loot all we state resources there. Now whether they do this, now the political robber. In 2018 alone, the political thieves there, now 177 billion 500 then squander. Cockroach, the able kitchen. In 2020 alone, 153 billion 900,000 nine loss from the money we be get NASA alone. In 2021, 175 billion nine people are plunder. And the able cater. In 2022, 317 billion nine people are embezzled. Where side this money go? Now the one great sabi. In 2023, now 233 billion nine people are thief. But the criminal political thief, ladies and gentlemen, they call am corruption and money not accounted for. All the money they are, then for don't develop the state. But all the money they are don't go into the private pockets of the political robbers. Then they rob the state, plunder the state resources, impoverish the people, jail the people, kill the citizen extrajudicially, take we money then to foreign lands, build mansions there, five-star hotel there, skyscraper there, while them blinded and unscrupulous political bootlickers then they sing praise them. Ladies and gentlemen, why after they don't sing praise them, then they go to bed with empty stomach, with worms and kidney. This now the Sierra Leone man's mentality. The only benefit we then get, when they use them for chase their young brothers them, burn their young brothers their houses them, force their young brothers them to forceful exile, force their young fellow citizens them, intimidation, repression, and harassment because of the political criminal robbers. Ladies and gentlemen, waiting the criminal robbers need to do, where they want divide the people them, where they want set fire the nation, because they know able get nothing what they do for the people. Then they preach regionalism, then they preach tribalism, then they preach political antagonism, and forget an advantage for loot the state resources. Fellow Sierra Leoneans, ladies and gentlemen, comrades all, these are the dangers of the political thieves, the criminal political robbers, the criminal political thief that they can all we banks them, hire private jets on reckless and fruitless overseas traveling, then go import ammunition, deadly kush and drugs, come for kill the young population and the youth there. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Sierra Leone, then say they go out for go launder the shattered and battered image of the country. Why then when they go out, where they count cocaine, where they count drugs, where they count kush, where they count ammunition, where host a cocaine baroness alone. Now then they shatter and batter the image of the country. Fellow Sierra Leone. So they want the way they import the dangerous killer drugs. Then they bulldoze all entry points then, the land, the air, and the sea, and they are protected. But the youth, the way they go buy a smaller quantity for peddle. Then they arrest them, extort them, and sometimes jail them. So tell me, whether or not the criminals, the answers are the political thieves. Waiting at a robber, how you call a robber? A robber, they call her a bandit, a burglar, a conman, a crook, a looter, a marauder, a mooger, a pocket pirate, a raider, a swindler, a thief, a thug, and a rustler. Wetin make a thief a thief? For dishonestly appropriate property wey belong to somebody with the intention for permanently deprive the person of that property, na im make a thief, dem call her a thief. Ladies and gentlemen, so how you dey call drug related crimes then? This then call am drug trafficking. Fellow Sierra Leoneans, today na the order of the day. Why thief na a crime? Thief not only illegal issue, but also na a moral issue when they talk about somebody else. Ladies and gentlemen, you dey take somebody in property without in consent. E dey against moral principles of mutual respect and fairness, wey widely held in our society today, wey na Sierra Leone. So section 24 of the Code of Theft, it defines dishonesty as whoever does anything with the intention for cause wrongful gain to somebody or wrongful loss to another person in property. We get four types of thieves or robbers. Number one, we get the addict robber. Number two, we get the alcoholic robbers. Number three, we get the opportunist robbers. And number four, we get the professional robbers. According to Conklins in typology, we see robbers then they classify into four categories. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Sierra Leonean. Now that are the addict robber. This one then an individual the way they commit robbery for support their drug addiction. The robbery they often be desperate attempt for get money for the next fix. Whether not the alcoholic robbers then. This similar to addict robbers then. They individually are then they commit robbery for support their alcoholic addiction. Whether or not the opportunist robbers then. Then one they are not typically individual there where they seize any opportunity where can they way fellow Sierra Leoneans for commit a robbery when they present themselves. They not usually they plan their own crimes in advance and their actions then, but they are often impulsive. This category then considered as the most common due to the spontaneous nature of the crimes, where often they occur in response to an immediate passive opportunity. This then called an opportunistic robbery. Then they rob when the opportunity arrives. So the state looked as political party. That's so then they behave. See the opportunity where they take for grab political power, thief the people of the people's votes, power illegally and illegitimately, ladies and gentlemen, for make an opportunistic gain, fellow Sierra Leoneans, ladies and gentlemen, because what they do, then take all them political loyalists and then tribesmen them from the southeast, put them at all state independent democratic institutions for let them get opportunistic robbery. Fellow Sierra Leoneans, ladies and gentlemen, come this all. This then call an opportunistic robbery, where they all come together for find an opportunity for thief elections, then call an opportunistic election robbery up to dates that people are not able to substantiate and authenticate the election victory. Then say they rely on the results announced by the anti-patriotic Southeast pauper exploitative tribalists when a ECSL Santibokiats. Now, after they don't tip the elections, then they plan for divide Sierra Leone into fraudulent particles for political gain. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Sierra Leoneans, them people that don't turn Sierra Leone see, na them family property, wey na them bad die e left for them Sierra Leone. Ladies and gentlemen, we be say Sierra Leone dey reduce no more. Other troops that don't come up from Guinea for invade the Yenga na Kailaun district. We get the professional robbers them. These are the individual them. We see robbery as their profession. Then they often plan their crimes them meticulously and they usually involve in high-stake robberies. Fellow Sierra Leoneans, ladies and gentlemen, comrades all both home and the diaspora. Look what the political thieves that they do. The area of both districts now 5,165 kilometers square, when a total of 5,219 kilometers square and is subdivided into 16 chiefdoms. The city of Bo gets a population of 223,075 based on the flood and unprecedented midterm census of the state Luther's political party with 42 wards and 11 constituencies. The 12th constituency na a ghost constituency. Pujon district get 4,105 kilometers square by the flood unprecedented midterm census, while Pujon district now 4,105 square kilometers, were subdivided into 14 chiefdoms and 6 constituencies, while the geographical size of Sierra Leone gets a total area of 73,253 kilometers square, 28,283 square miles divided into land and area of water. The land at 28,236 kilometers square miles and water now 120 kilometers square when at 46 square miles. While the biggest village na Sierra Leone na Freetown. Now analysis. Both districts get an area of 5,219 kilometers square. Pujon district get an area of 4,105 kilometers square. When you add them together, the two districts they give an area of 9,324 kilometers square. So both the two districts combined, the 9,324 kilometers square. How you go cut some parts na both district? You cut some parts then I put you on district only for create a new district we then call Bandajuma district. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're not for destroy the country for political gains, fellow Sierra Leoneans, ladies and gentlemen, comrades all. So this 9,324 kilometers square divided into three districts. Danabo, Pujong, and Bandajuma district. That each district get forget 3,108 kilometers square. Opa, opa. May God save Mama Salone. But not blame the state looters political party and the APC proper reckless and unscrupulous political leadership. We sell, then people then vote for betrayal, for hate, for selfish greed, duplicity, passionate aggrandizement, and self-egoism for Agenda 2028. Kerema district get an area of 6,053 kilometers square, when are 2,337 square miles and comprised of 16 chiefdoms, 12 constituencies, and 42 wards. The Border Bow district at the west, the Republic of Liberia at the southeast, Tonkolili district and Connaught district to the north, Kailaun district to the east, and Pujon district to the southwest. Kailaun district, they get a total area of 3,940 kilometers square, when are 1,520 square miles, subdivided into 14 chiefdoms. Now, me analysis. Kerema district, the area, now 6,053 kilometers square, plus Kailaun district, the area, now 3,940 kilometers square. So both Kailaun district and Kerema district, they give you 9,990 kilometers square. Now, inside the one they are, then they pull a new district called Pangoma district. Ladies and gentlemen, where you divide 9,990 into three districts, each district they get an area of 3,330 kilometers square, only for form a new district called Pangoma district for political reason, for continuing for still elections. This now the dangers then for encourage and support the political thieves. Freetown will be divided into two. The Western Area Rural District, when our Talo, will be divided into three, and then therefore form a new Lunge City. Opa, opa. Let God save Mama Salon. So when them political thieves there, they may they in opposition, they may they talk and campaign and criticize and say APC na a reckless political party. Then they spend money recklessly on frequent overseas traveling. Then campaign against a bloated wage bill. See the way then they employ people they no more. The wage bill don't be. Why today? Where they don't come, we don't get a disastrous and an exploitative wage bill. Then campaign against corruption. Today under the watch, we not only get corruption, but we get massive corruption, endemic corruption, systemic corruption, holo endemic corruption, and hyper endemic corruption. Then criticize the APC, say the APC now undemocratic political party. But the APC, when they conduct elections and publish and gazette election results, the state looters political party, where deceptively and fraudulently claim say then democratic, the first election where they don't conduct, when at the June 24, 2023, multi-tier elections, they announce results till today. They announce elections till today, there is no result. They declare a winner while counting is ongoing in the provinces. Fellow Sierra Leoneans, where the international development partners, we can monitor we election. They refer the election as elect transparency, fraud tabulation of results, mathematical improbable, and statistical inconsistencies. Ladies and gentlemen, then certain unpatriotic and unscrupulous political thieves then at the APC, they want for lobby continue with this disastrous status quo instead of correcting short, dangerous electoral precedent. We go through the country to tomorrow into a more deadly civil war than the 11 years brutal, bloody, deadly, nasty, and devastated rebel war. Ladies and gentlemen, then they tell me about Agenda 2028. No wonder where Prince Alex Adin, the national chairman of the Sierra Leone State Looters Political Party, he say they know the hand over power to madmen or mad people, where Paul Papio call them as terrorists, where the chief minister, the illegitimate chief minister, David Mwenina Senge, called them unprogressive fellow Sierra Leoneans. Ladies and gentlemen, comrades all both home and the diaspora. Now we get a brief history about Bandajuma, where the headquarters in Asowa during the colonial time. We not been get Bo district, we not been get Pujon district, but we get Bandajuma district. So Bandajuma district has been historically the part of Bo and Pujon district. The area they may know for the resistance during the Sierra Leone Protectorate expedition in 1898 to 1899, particularly against Lieutenant Colonel Cunningham. Banajuma, the Minema also associated with a large infrastructural project launched by the government of Sierra Leone and the European Union in 2016, focusing on road and bridge development. Now they will get forget the Gundama Bridge, now they will get forget the Banajuma Bridge, and now they will get forget the Moala Bridge, what they call Moala Ferry. The historical context. The Banajuma area along with the Shabro district, it faced a determined resistance during the Sierra Leone Protectorate expedition. The resistance had been part of a broader uprising against imposition of a whole tax war, the British colonial government led by Burre. So Banajuma now been the headquarters of the British colonial frontier police force. Ladies and gentlemen, where we get Queen Nyaro of Mandasuma, when in the Bari country, that been the ruler from 1880 to 1914, when I been key ruler during the period of the British colonial expansion into the hinterland of Sierra Leone in the 19th century. But people then they always get confused of Bandajuma and Bandasuma. Bandajuma na a chiefdom in na a district headquarter town. I mean a chiefdom headquarter town, Napujon district. When I saw a chiefdom, and so a chiefdom, the chiefdom headquarter na Bandajuma, ladies and gentlemen, inside Pujon district. Where Bandasuma na a town or a village where they inside Bari Chieftain, fellow Sierra Leonean ladies and gentlemen, where na Pujon district, where they call her Bandasuma. So there are the difference between Bandajuma, where na Sowa, and we get Bandasuma, where na Bari, fellow Sierra Leoneans, ladies and gentlemen, comrades all, both home and the diaspora. So we go talk about anything there for continue for educate with people that they understand. So during the colonial era, the Protectorate of Sierra Leone, they be initially divided Sierra Leone into 5 administrative districts. We been get Karine district, we get Unita district, we get Bandajuma district, and we get Panguma district and Kwainadugu district. The districts then be overseen by a district commissioner appointed by the colonial governor. The colony itself being roughly equivalent to the modern western area. Later, the protectorate was further divided into provinces with districts then, ladies and gentlemen, within them, such as the central province, it being comprised of Kenema, Kono, Moyamba, and Pendembo. Northern province being comprised of Bombali, Karene, Kwenadugu, Potloko, and Southern province being comprised of Pujeong, Sembeong, Sheba, and Sumbuya. So Sierra Leone from 5 colonial districts to 12 districts to 14 districts to 16 districts. Today, Paupa, they want to make Sierra Leone to 18 political districts for, for them political gains. We are the political thieves. Now get a brief background about Pangoma. Pangoma is a village in eastern Sierra Leone, where historically significant as the capital of the Mende chief, Onanyagua, and the headquarters of the Lova Bambara chiefdom, Nakenema district, where name derived from Banguima, we attributed to the former warrior Nyagua, who resided in the area. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Sierra Leonean comrades for both home and the diaspora, the village also gets a site of a Catholic hospital, which include a nosocomial outbreak of Lassa fever in the 1970s and a subsequent research program. So Pangoma it be also affected by the Sierra Leone Civil War brought in by the SFP junta Kamajo and Bolate Dobousu insurrectionists with an attack on the hospital in 1994. Pangoma served as the administrative center for this region, which include the Diamondiferous Tongue of Field. Pangoma village now be one of the seats of power for the Mende chieftain. Chief Nyagwa now be a powerful Mende ruler in Sierra Leone, born in 1840s and died in 1906. in a be important chief or warrior tradition, we succeeded for carve out a substantial empire in Upper Mende country 3 decades before the close of the 19th century. History highlights the devastating impact of British colonialism on traditional African leadership and the struggles for autonomy. Today, the state looters political party one compensates their forefather there by making the colonial Pangoma Center as a district in the Republic of Sierra Leone. As LPP for remember the bad policies of Sir Albert Magai for the evil wey they enjoy today because you stand for benefit from that evil day. Now in the nurture your future trouble. So you are warned, fellow Sierra Leoneans, ladies and gentlemen, comrades all. So now we dey talk about the deceptive, hypocritical, and the two-faced social media blogger, wey dem call the people's power, we get a news blackout, and they blame we international moral guarantors dem for backing bill against we hard and democracy. Now there is a challenge between the wounded lion and the international community. Madman Bio described as a wounded lion. He don't get a serious challenge with the European Union, the United States, the United Kingdom, and he don't instructed the international financial institutions there, which include the World Bank, the International Monetary Fund, the USAID, for be added to other financial institutions there, like the African Development Bank, the ECOWAS Credit Bank in other key nations. Ladies and gentlemen, an institution also then plan for then shut down the China mining companies there in order for withhold their finances and stop their operation as Sierra Leone, just for put down the wounded lion without using ammunition. This is a serious challenge between the wounded lion and the hunters we want for use, we don't, they don't want for use gun or any kind of force. Democracy go be surely restored, whether the wounded lion, Ileka or Inoleka. Fellow Sierra Leonean, travel ban